I'm Matthew Burchette, and this is Behind the Wings, and BAM! That is a Cessna 172 Skyhawk. Oh, yeah. Okay, all goofiness aside, because we always have to have some of that in an episode of Behind the Wings, I'm actually standing in front of our Boeing Blue Sky Aviation Gallery, which is actually phase one of Wings Over the Rockies' much larger exploration of flight campus here on Centennial Airport. That's pretty exciting. Speaking of flying, this episode is not about Blue Sky, it's about that little guy, the Cessna 172 Skyhawk, and that baby looks like she needs a pilot. Luckily, you got me. Okay, I'm not a pilot, but I know where to find one. So we're here with Brooks Dickerson, who's a student in Metropolitan State University of Denver, and you are part of their aerobatic team, is that correct?
Yes, sir, I am.
So what's it like to be a part of the aerobatic team? I mean, what are you flying for those guys?
So the aerobatic team, we actually have a team of about 20 members now at school, and we go out and fly a series of aerobatic maneuvers in front of 3 judges, sometimes 4. And then that gets scored against the other schools, and we compete in that way. Cool. So it's a really neat collegiate program to be a part of.
All right, so this does not look like your standard 172 cockpit. What is going on with all this glass?
So what we're looking at here is the state-of-the-art avionics package known as the Garmin G1000 NXI. Now that's the top-of-the-line, most modern avionics that you can equip in a single-engine airplane here. So basically what a glass cockpit does and what the NXI has done here is taken all of our steam gauges and put them in an easier-to-read compact format here on this screen here. So the pilot no longer has to scan too far around. He can scan his instruments right here. Now, the engine that's sitting in front of us is a 155 horsepower turbo diesel engine. So this airplane is fueled by Jet A, which is actually about $1.50 cheaper per gallon than Aviation.
Okay, I can start to see the allure.
This airplane, we're showing about a max speed of about 143 miles an hour. So that's not bad. Say 143 miles an hour in a straight line. That'll get you to your destination a lot faster than driving, right?
Let's take this baby out. You cool with that?
Absolutely.
I didn't think you'd say no. You can't just be in the plane, you gotta fly the plane.
So most of the airplanes that you're going to see for training out here today are Cessna 172s. They are just good, honest planes.
Yeah, it's amazing. This thing is fun.
So, Matt, whenever you're ready, put your hands on the yoke. Now, what we really like to do here is, I'm a big fan of not over controlling the airplane.
Right.
You got both hands up here. Oftentimes you're going to be real, heavy-handed, heavy on the control. So I really like to just kind of fly with one hand. In your case, you're going to fly with your right hand, so you got your left hand, the throttle here.
Yeah, you do not have to have a lot of.
There's not a lot of force on it. It's what I like to tell folks is, airplane's going to want to continue to fly. Your only job as the pilot is to manipulate it. There's a lot of misconceptions that you have to try to keep the airplane in the air, and specifically with the 172 especially, that is not the case. That was the idea behind the Cessna 172, is a easy flying, easy operating trainer, and Cessna hit it right on the head.
Yeah, no kidding. This thing is
the most successful airplane sales-wise and manufacturing-wise that had been built, and there's still, flight schools are still operating these today. Now, if you could kind of see the smoky outline of downtown there,
right.
Why don't you give us a slight right turn, head right towards downtown, and we can get a nice circling view of it.
We just got back from our super cool flight with Brooks Dickerson, but now we're here at Centennial Airport, and we're actually sitting in a 1998 Cessna Skyhawk that belongs to the Aspen Flying Club, and we're literally right across the runway from our second location, the Blue Sky Gallery. But you'll notice I have this fetching young woman, Hennelly Carlson. She runs our teacher flight program. So, Hetty, did you know that Cessna has actually built 44,000 Skyhawks?
That's amazing.
That's a huge number. And what's even way crazier is the fact that America, China, any number of European countries are all scrambling for Skyhawks because they desperately need pilots.
They do.
And we don't have enough.
We don't have enough. Actually, in fact, Boeing estimates that in the next 18 years, we're going to need about 2 million more aviation
Whoa.
personnel. That includes pilots, that includes flight attendants, that includes air traffic control, maintenance. It's astounding, the number, and that's a global number.
Wow, that is nuts. You know, hats off to Cessna and Textron for cranking these guys out. Hetty, tell us about this kind of old school Skyhawk.
I love the old school, by the way.
It is kind of cool.
It is. As you notice that there are analog steam gauges instead of our XTI G1000 glass cockpit.
You know, if it was good enough for Lindbergh, it's got to be good enough for us.
Exactly. The engine is also different. This has a Lycoming 180 horsepower engine, and it's a normally aspirated gas-powered reciprocating engine.
So the one we were just in was actually a turbo diesel.
Correct.
Which is great for up here because the turbo thinks it's at, you know, sea level all the time.
Right.
Whereas this poor guy, it's like, I'm at 6,800 feet already.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's not fun for a plane.
Yeah.
Denver. Airing and
I screwed it up. I'm sorry.
Well, I really enjoyed this episode because I got to fly. That's always a good thing. I also want to thank Hetty Carlson, my favorite person at Wings Over the Rockies, for her awesome help today. And a huge shout out to Aspen Flying Club because they let us sit in this super cool steam gauged out Cessna Skyhawk. And we would be remiss if we didn't thank Brooks, aviation phenom, Dickerson. Because without him, we wouldn't have flown and I wouldn't have gotten some more time in my logbook. So thanks, Brooks. We appreciate all you did for us. Thank you again, Hetty. Thank you again, Aspen. If you guys have any questions about the Cessna Skyhawk or aviation in general, please give us a shout out on YouTube and Facebook. We will get to you as soon as we can, but I'm gonna go flying. Wait, it's not doing anything.
You didn't turn the engine on.
Oh, all right, well.